Save for retirement, avoid debt, and be patient. Sound familiar? I followed that advice for years, thinking it was the key to financial success. But instead, I watched my savings stagnate while housing prices, education costs, and inflation skyrocketed beyond reach. I remember skipping vacations and cutting every corner, only to feel like I was falling further behind. In this video, I'll show you why the financial strategies that worked for past generations are now holding you back. You'll discover the alternative wealth principles the top 1% use, principles that prioritize multiplying income over endlessly pinching pennies. The broken promise of slow and steady. Remember when your parents told you just work hard and save? That advice worked when a single income could buy a house and pensions guaranteed retirement. Today, that same strategy leaves you falling further behind every year. The math simply doesn't add up anymore. The old rules were built for a world with 3% inflation and employer pensions, but neither exists today. Millennials now need to save 40% more than boomers just to retire at 65. To put that in perspective, you'd have to save nearly half your paycheck just to match what previous generations achieved with modest savings. And even if you manage to save, the average 401k balance at retirement is $255,000. That might sound like a lot, but it only generates about $1,000 per month. Imagine trying to live on that. The rising cost of living paints an even starker picture. In 1970, the median home price was times the median income. Today, it's 7 times higher. College tuition? Up 1,200% since 1980. Healthcare costs? Doubled in just 20 years. These skyrocketing expenses make it nearly impossible for savings to keep pace. Here's the bottom line. The slow and steady approach fails because it's outdated. Saving $500 a month for 40 years at 7% returns might give you $1.2 million. But thanks to inflation, that $1.2 million will only have the buying power of about $400,000 today. It's like running on a financial treadmill, working hard but staying in the same place. So, what's the alternative? The wealthy don't rely on saving pennies or maxing out their 401ks. They focus on multiplying their income. While most people stress over whether to buy a $4 latte, the wealthy are creating assets that generate $400 a day. The system is designed to keep you trapped. Banks profit from your savings accounts. Wall Street rakes in billions from 401k fees. The financial industry thrives on keeping you chasing small returns while they pocket the real money. What if there was a way to build wealth 5 times faster without taking crazy risks? Inflation, the silent wealth killer. That $100 bill in your wallet isn't what it used to be. What $100 bought in 2000 now costs $170. Inflation is like a slow leak in a bucket, silently draining your money's value while you're not looking. Your savings account might seem like it's growing, but in reality, it's losing value every single day. Banks offer an average of 0.5% interest on savings accounts, while inflation runs at 3 to 6% annually. That means you're effectively losing 5.5% of your money's value every year just by keeping it in the bank. For example, a $10,000 emergency fund today will only have the purchasing power of about $7,000 in a decade. Keeping cash under your mattress? Even worse, it loses roughly 30% of its value over the same period. Some people turn to safe investments like Treasury inflation-protected securities TIPS or I-bonds, thinking they're beating inflation. But these options barely keep pace. Over the past 20 years, TIPS have returned just 1.5% above inflation, and I-bonds currently about 4.3%, which only slightly covers recent inflation rates. These aren't wealth-building tools. They're just treading water. The wealthy understand this game. They don't let their money sit idle in savings accounts or low-yield bonds. Instead, they invest in assets that grow faster than inflation. Real estate, for instance, averages 10% annual returns, and the S&P 500 delivers about 10% before inflation. Even riskier assets like cryptocurrency have outperformed cash by a wide margin over the past decade. Inflation hits the middle class hardest because they tend to keep most of their net worth in cash or cash equivalents. Meanwhile, the wealthy hold appreciating assets. Think about it. Your $500 monthly car payment stays the same for 5 years, but the value of that $500 drops every month due to inflation. The rich, on the other hand, use loans to buy assets that grow faster than their debt. Here's a stark example. If you had put $10,000 in a savings account in 2010, you'd have about $10,500 today after interest. But that money would only buy what $7,500 could in 2010. You've effectively lost $2,500 in purchasing power. Now, compare that to investing the same $10,000 in the S&P 500, it would be worth about $32,000 today, even after accounting for inflation. That's a $22,000 gain in real terms. The system is designed this way. Banks want you to keep money in low-interest accounts so they can lend it out at higher rates. Meanwhile, inflation benefits the government by reducing the real value of its debt. For example, a $100,000 student loan feels lighter when inflation erodes the value of $100,000 over time. Most financial advice ignores inflation entirely. You're told to save 6 months of expenses in cash, $15,000 to $30,000 for the average household. But that money loses $750 to $1,500 in value every year, just sitting there. There are smarter ways to maintain liquidity without sacrificing growth. Inflation also makes traditional retirement planning a challenge. The 4% rule suggests withdrawing 4% of your nest egg annually, but with 3% inflation, your purchasing power is halved after 24 years. That $1 million retirement fund? By the time you're in your 80s, it's only worth $500,000 in today's dollars. The solution isn't to stop saving, it's to save smarter. Keep minimal cash for emergencies and invest the rest in assets that outpace inflation. Even conservative options like dividend stocks or rental properties typically yield 4 to 6% after inflation, which is 8 to 10 times better than a savings account. Some worry about market volatility, but inflation is the real wealth killer. The stock market might drop 20% in a bad year, but it always recovers. Cash, on the other hand, loses 3% every year with no recovery. Over 30 years, 3% inflation reduces your dollar's value by 60%. No market crash does that much damage. Why your 401k is failing you. That 401k your company keeps pushing in those HR meetings. It's not the golden ticket they make it out to be. The average 401k grows at about 7% annually before fees and inflation. To retire comfortably at that rate, you'd need to save $2,000 every single month for 30 years. Who actually has an extra $2,000 lying around each month? Here's the reality. 401ks come with significant drawbacks that most people don't fully understand. First, those small 1 to 2% annual fees add up. Over 30 years, they can eat up about 30% of your potential returns. On a $100,000 balance, that's $1,000 to $2,000 a year, or over $200,000 in lost growth. Second, your investment options are limited. Most plans only offer 10 to 20 mutual funds chosen by your employer, leaving you stuck with mediocre choices. Third, the tax benefits aren't as great as they seem. While you get a tax break now, you'll pay ordinary income tax on every dollar you withdraw later, likely at higher future tax rates. Finally, early withdrawal penalties make accessing your money before age 59.5 costly, with 10% penalties plus taxes. These limitations leave the average saver with fewer options and less flexibility. Now let's contrast two approaches. Take someone who follows the traditional advice. They max out their 401k at $22,500 per year for 30 years at 7% returns. On paper, they'll have about $2.2 million. But after 3% annual inflation, that's only worth $900,000 in today's dollars. Then, the government takes 20 to 30% in taxes, leaving them with $600,000 to $700,000 real purchasing power. That's not exactly the set-for-life dream they were sold. Meanwhile, the wealthy take a different path. They use self-directed IRAs to invest in real estate, private equity, and businesses. They build cash-flowing assets outside of retirement accounts, creating income streams that aren't tied to the stock market. This approach gives them financial flexibility and control, while the average saver remains dependent on the market's ups and downs. The The 2008 financial crisis is a perfect example of why this matters. Many millennials watched their parents' 401ks lose half their value overnight. While the market eventually recovered, that didn't help those who needed to retire in 2009. It's no wonder 60% of millennials don't trust the stock market anymore. The wealthy avoid this risk by diversifying their investments and not relying solely on Wall Street products. Even company matches, which seem like free money, come with strings attached. Most require 3 to 6 years to fully vest, and the average person changes jobs every 4 years. This means many people never fully benefit from these matches. It's another way the system is stacked against the average worker. The biggest flaw? 401ks were never designed to be primary retirement vehicles. They were created as supplemental savings plans. But as companies eliminated pensions, 401ks became the centerpiece of retirement planning. You're being sold a substitute as the real thing, while the wealthy know better than to rely on a broken system. Instead, they focus on ownership and building assets that generate income, giving them true financial independence. Income multiplication beats saving. Saving $100 feels like a struggle, but earning an extra $1,000 is often easier than you think. The math doesn't lie. If you make $50,000 a year and save 20%, that's $10,000 annually. After 10 years, you've saved $100,000. That might sound decent, but it's really just delayed spending. Now imagine adding a $1,000 a month side hustle to that same income. In 1 year, you've made an extra $12,000. In 5 years, that's $60,000 in new income without touching your savings. Bankrate's research shows the average side hustle brings in $1,122 per month, more than most people save in an entire year. Cutting expenses has limits. You can only reduce your spending so much. But income potential? That's like turning a trickle into a river. It can grow endlessly. This is why 45% of millionaires have at least 3 income streams. They don't get rich by skipping lattes. Think about how long it takes to save $10,000. For most people, that's months of sacrifice. Now consider how long it would take to create a $10,000 income stream. A freelance writer charging $100 per article needs 100 articles. A handyman doing $500 jobs needs 20 clients. A dropshipping store making $50 a day hits $10,000 in under 7 months. These small efforts compound quickly, turning side hustles into scalable income sources. Traditional financial advice focuses on cutting expenses because it's predictable. But predictability won't make you wealthy. The wealthy focus on multiplying income because it's scalable. Saving $5 on coffee every day adds up to $1,825 annually. Starting a 500-month side business makes $6,000 annually. Which would you rather have? The side business can grow, the coffee savings can't. Most people approach money backward. They shrink their life to fit their income instead of expanding their income to fit their dreams. The average millionaire takes 12 years to build wealth, not by saving pennies, but by creating value. A graphic designer making $50,000 at a job could add another $30,000 freelancing. Suddenly, they're at $80,000 without changing their lifestyle. Income streams work while you sleep. Savings just sit there. $10,000 in savings might earn $500 a year in interest, but $10,000 invested in a side business could generate $1,000 a month or more. The difference lies in active versus passive approaches. The wealthy build systems that make money for them. Employees trade time for money once and hope it lasts. Consider the time investment. Saving $100 might require 20 hours of budgeting and sacrifice. Earning $100 extra might take 2 hours of focused work. The hourly return is 10 times better. This is why people who focus on earning more outpace savers dramatically. Time is your most valuable asset. Don't waste it pinching pennies. The mental shift changes everything. Savers ask, how can I spend less? Earners ask, how can I create more value? One mindset keeps you stuck. The other propels you forward. When you focus on income multiplication, you develop skills that keep paying off. Learning to sell, market, or create has lasting value. Learning to coupon doesn't. Multiple streams protect you better than savings ever could. If you lose your job with $50,000 saved, you have a runway. If you lose your job with 3 income streams, making $3,000 per month, you're already replacing that income. Diversified income is the ultimate safety net. Bank accounts can't offer that. The barrier to entry is lower than you think. You don't need special skills to start. A $10 Udemy course can teach you basic freelancing. Free YouTube tutorials cover everything, from Amazon FBA to local lead generation. The tools exist, most people just don't use them. The wealthy start before they feel ready. Employees wait for permission. Scaling beats saving at every level. Saving 50% of a $50,000 income is $25,000. Earning an extra $25,000 is often easier than cutting your spending in half. Then you can save some and spend some. This is how people actually build wealth without miserable deprivation. You get to enjoy life while building security. The system wants you focused on saving because it keeps you dependent. Banks profit from your deposits. Employers benefit from your single income source. The wealthy play a different game. They create value, capture profits, and reinvest. You can do the same starting today. Your current skills have untapped earning potential. You just need to leverage them. Strategic debt, the wealth builder's secret. Most people think all debt is bad, but the wealthy know better. They use strategic debt as a wealth building tool. The key difference? Consumer debt buys things that lose value, while investment debt buys assets that grow. A $30,000 car loan at 7% interest costs you money. A $30,000 business loan at 5% that earns 15% makes you money. One keeps you poor, the other builds wealth. This is the turning point in how the wealthy view debt. Real estate investors, for example, use mortgages to control assets worth far more than their cash investment. Put $50,000 down on a $250,000 property. If it appreciates 4% annually, you make $10,000 on the property's full value, not just your $50,000. That's a 20% return on your money instead of 4%. The bank's money works for you, not against you. This is how 82% of millionaires have used debt strategically. The same math applies in business. Borrow $100,000 at 6% to start a company that makes $15,000 profit annually. You pay $6,000 in interest, but keep $9,000. Without the loan, you'd have $0 instead of $9,000. This is why wealthy people aren't debt-free, they're debt-smart. Good debt has 3 characteristics. It's cheap, tax-advantaged, and buys appreciating assets. A 3% mortgage on a rental property checks all boxes. The interest is deductible, the rate is low, and the property should increase in value. Bad debt, on the other hand, is expensive, offers no tax benefits, and buys depreciating items. Credit cards at 18% for vacations are the worst. Here's a quick comparison. Person A pays $50,000 cash for a car. Person B puts $10,000 down, finances $40,000 at 4%, and invests the remaining $40,000 at 8%. After 5 years, Person A has a car worth $25,000. Person B has the same car plus $58,000 from investments. The debt user comes out $33,000 ahead. This is how the wealthy think differently about leverage. Business lines of credit offer another example. Borrow $100,000 at 6 to 8% to buy inventory that turns over 3 times annually at 10% profit. That's $30,000 in revenue. After $8,000 in interest, you're left with $22,000 profit you couldn't have made without debt. The bank takes little risk while you reap most of the rewards. Even student loans can be strategic if used wisely. Borrowing $50,000 for a degree that increases earnings by $20,000 annually pays off fast. At 5% interest, the loan costs $2,500 yearly, but brings $20,000 extra income. That's a 700% return on the interest payment. The key is borrowing for education that actually increases earning potential. To illustrate, consider Sarah, a real estate investor. She borrowed $200,000 to purchase a $250,000 rental property. With tenants covering the mortgage and a 5% annual appreciation, her $50,000 down payment grew to $75,000 in equity within 5 years. That's a 50% return, all while the property generated monthly cash flow. This is the power of leveraging debt strategically. The wealthy use debt to amplify returns. Borrow at 4% and earn 10%, and that 6% spread compounds over time. $100,000 leveraged this way grows to $179,000 in 10 years versus $148,000 without leverage. The difference gets bigger every year. This is why banks love lending to rich people. They know how to use money productively. Credit cards show both sides of debt. Carrying a $5,000 balance at 18% costs us $900 annually in interest. Pure waste. But using cards for business expenses you'd pay anyway, then collecting 2% cash back earns you money. Pay the balance monthly and you turn debt into a profit center. The tool isn't bad, how you use it matters. The biggest mistake is fearing all debt equally. Avoiding debt completely means missing opportunities. Taking on dumb debt means working for lenders. The middle path, using smart debt strategically, is how wealth gets built. Changing how you view debt changes how you use it. Good debt builds your balance sheet. Bad debt drains it. The type matters more than the amount. 5 wealth principles they don't teach in school. Schools teach you to budget and balance checkbooks, but they don't teach you how to build wealth. That's intentional. The system is designed to produce workers, not entrepreneurs. Here are 5 principles they never taught you in personal finance class that can create financial freedom. First, focus on assets. Your paycheck means little if it's all spent. For example, imagine 2 people. One earns $50,000 a year but has $500,000 in investments generating $25,000 annually, while the other earns $100,000 but has no assets. The first person is better off because assets work for you, even when you're not working. Jobs stop paying when you stop working, but assets like rental properties or dividend stocks keep generating income. This is why 67% of wealth comes from investments, not salaries. Second, taxes are your biggest expense. The average American loses 30% of their income to taxes, but the wealthy use legal strategies to reduce this burden. For instance, a small business owner can deduct expenses like a home office or travel, lowering taxable income. Compare that to a W-2 employee who gets taxed first and spends what's left. Over time, these strategies can mean keeping tens of thousands more annually. It's like shopping with a coupon. Why pay full price when you don't have to? Third, multiple income streams provide security. Relying on one paycheck is risky. If it disappears, so does your financial stability. The average millionaire has 7 income streams, but you don't need to start big. For example, a teacher might tutor online for $500 a month or rent out a spare room for $1,000. These small streams can grow. A side hustle making $500 a month could scale to $5,000 with time and effort. Think of income streams like a table. The more legs it has, the sturdier it is. Fourth, not all debt is bad. The wealthy use debt strategically to build wealth. For instance, a $30,000 car loan at 7% interest costs you money, but a $30,000 loan for a rental property that appreciates 5% annually and generates 8% in cash flow creates profit. It's like using a tool. How you use it determines whether it helps or hurts. The key is to borrow for assets that grow in value, not liabilities that drain your wallet. Finally, time is your most valuable resource. Compounding works exponentially, so starting early makes a huge difference. For example, investing $10,000 at age 25 with a 7% return grows to $70,000 by retirement. Wait until 35 and it only grows to $35,000. The same applies to building businesses. A side hustle started at 25 could grow into a full-time income by 35. Think of time as a multiplier. Every year you delay, you lose potential growth. These principles focus on growth, not restriction. Traditional advice tells you to cut back, but you can't save your way to millions. Instead, focus on earning and investing. For example, a $500,000 portfolio generating 5% annually provides $25,000 in passive income, more than most people save in 5 years of budgeting. The wealthy prioritize building these cash-flowing assets over penny pinching. Schools prepare you to be employees, not owners or investors. That's why most people never learn these principles. The wealthy pass them down. Alternative investments, your inflation shield. Stocks and bonds alone won't protect your money in today's economy. The S&P 500 only returns about 4.5% after inflation over 20 years. That barely keeps pace with rising costs. Your traditional portfolio isn't built for today's financial reality. There are better options that most people never hear about. REITs, real estate investment trusts, show what's possible. They average 10 to 12% annual returns with less volatility than stocks. Unlike buying physical property, you can invest in REITs with as little as $100. They pay dividends monthly or quarterly from rental income. You get real estate exposure without dealing with tenants, toilets, or repairs. Private equity outperforms public markets by about 4% annually, according to Cambridge Associates. The wealthy have used this advantage for decades, while regular investors were stuck with mutual funds. Now, platforms like YieldStreet and Masterworks let you access private deals with smaller amounts. You can invest in everything from lawsuit funding to fine art. These alternatives don't move with the stock market, giving your portfolio real diversification. Farmland might sound boring, but it's been a consistent performer for over 20 years. Platforms like Farm Together and Acre Trader let you buy shares of productive farmland. The average return? About 11% annually from crop sales and land appreciation. Food prices keep rising, making farmland a natural inflation hedge. It's a way to invest in something tangible and essential. Crowdfunded real estate opens doors to commercial properties. Fundrise lets you invest in apartment buildings, warehouses, and retail centers with as little as $10. Their e-REITs have averaged 8 to 15% returns since 2014. The platform handles all management while you collect quarterly distributions. It's a simple way to diversify into real estate without six-figure down payments. Peer-to-peer lending offers better returns than savings accounts. Platforms like Lending Club let you lend directly to creditworthy borrowers, earning 5 to 8% returns. Default rates run about 2 to 3%, but proper diversification minimizes risk. Compare that to your bank's 0% savings rate. It's a clear upgrade. Digital assets like Bitcoin have outperformed every traditional asset class over the past decade. Even a small 1 to 2% portfolio allocation can dramatically improve overall returns. Crypto acts as an inflation hedge with zero correlation to stocks. You don't need to go all in, just enough to make a difference when traditional markets struggle. Collectibles are becoming a serious investment option. Platforms like Rally let you buy shares of rare cars, watches, and trading cards. A $950 Rolex Submariner sold for $20,000 in 2020. That's 10x growth. Fractional ownership makes these high-end assets accessible. The collectibles market has grown 13% annually since 2008, offering both passion and profit. Solar farms combine predictable returns with social impact. Wonder Capital lets you invest in renewable energy projects, yielding 7 to 12%. The contracts are backed by utility companies, creating steady cash flow. Your money helps build clean energy while earning better returns than bonds. Mobile home parks are another overlooked opportunity. They yield 8 to 12% from lot rents with near zero vacancies. You can invest through REITs like flagship communities or crowdfunding sites. It's not glamorous, but the cash flow is consistent. Even Warren Buffett has invested in this sector for years. By exploring these alternatives, you're not just diversifying your portfolio, you're opening the door to financial freedom. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with steady returns, even when traditional markets falter. Diversification isn't just a strategy, it's a way to take control of your financial future. Escaping the employee trap. You don't have to quit your job today to start building real wealth. The idea that you must choose between being an employee or an entrepreneur is false. There's a middle path that's safer and more effective. While 80% of businesses fail within 5 years, your chances of becoming CEO are less than 0.1%. The smart move? Start small while keeping your paycheck. Side hustles have exploded for good reason. According to Bankrate, 40% of Americans now have one, and the average side business makes $1,122 per month, more than most people save in a year. Many of these ventures require minimal upfront investment, often $100 or less. Simple ideas work best when you're starting out. Freelancing is one of the easiest ways to begin. Platforms like Fiverr and Upwork let you sell skills you already have, such as writing, graphic design, or video editing. These services typically start at $25 to $50 per project. With a small investment in a basic course to sharpen your skills, you can start earning quickly. The average freelancer makes $31 per hour, which means even a single 8-hour side gig per week could add $1,000 a month to your income. Print on demand is another low-cost option. Using free tools like Canva, you can design t-shirts and sell them through platforms like Teespring or Redbubble, which handle production and shipping. For example, a simple pizza lover design might earn $3 per sale. With 10 designs, you could scale to $3,000 monthly. Local services like pressure washing, gutter cleaning, or holiday light installation are always in demand. These require minimal equipment, often under $100, and can bring in $150 to $300 per job. Doing just 2 jobs per weekend could generate $1,200 to $2,400 monthly. Start with friends and neighbors, then grow through word of mouth. Digital products offer passive income potential. Record a $10 course teaching something you know, Excel, social media, or basic car repair, and sell it on platforms like Udemy or Gumroad. With 100 sales, you've made $1,000. Unlike freelancing, this income continues to grow even when you're not actively working. Affiliate marketing is another quick start option. By signing up for programs like Amazon Associates, you can recommend products you already use and earn commissions. A single viral post about your favorite coffee maker could generate $1,000 plus in commissions. Top affiliates make 6 figures annually. House hacking is a powerful way to cut your biggest expense. Rent out a spare bedroom on Airbnb or buy a duplex where the tenant covers your mortgage. The average Airbnb host makes $924 monthly, turning your housing cost into income while building equity. Think of escaping the employee trap like stepping off a hamster wheel. Instead of running in place, you're building a path forward. Start with one small project that fits your schedule. Dedicate 5 to 10 hours weekly. Reinvest your first $1,000 back into the business to scale. Once the first stream earns $500 per month consistently, add a second. This gradual approach prevents overwhelm while building momentum. Take Sarah, for example. She worked a 9-to-5 job she didn't love, but started freelancing as a graphic designer on weekends. Within 6 months, she was earning $1,500 per month on the side. That extra income gave her the confidence to expand into digital products, and now she makes more from her side hustles than her full-time job. Sarah didn't quit overnight. She built her escape plan step by step. Time management is key. Wake up an hour earlier to work on your business. Use lunch breaks for client calls. Batch tasks on weekends. The average person wastes over 21 hours weekly on social media and TV, time that could be redirected toward building your future. Leverage your job as a resource. Use steady paychecks to fund your ventures and take advantage of company benefits like 401k, matches, and health insurance. Learn valuable skills on their dime. Your job becomes a stepping stone, not a trap. The real shift happens in your mindset. Stop thinking like an employee waiting for raises. Start thinking like an owner creating value. Employees trade time for money. Owners build systems that generate income. This change in perspective is the foundation of financial freedom. Knowing you could walk away tomorrow transforms how you show up today. That psychological freedom is worth more than money. Tax strategies the wealthy use. The average American worker loses 30% of their income to taxes every year. That's $30,000 gone on a $100,000 salary. But here's the reality. The wealthy pay far less using completely legal strategies. While you're stressing over W-2 withholdings, they're using tax codes to their advantage. Let me show you how this game really works. Most people don't realize there's a hidden 15.3% self-employment tax lurking in the system. When you work a regular job, your employer covers half your Social Security and Medicare taxes. Go solo and you pay both halves. That's an extra 7.65% right off the top that employees never see. The wealthy structure their income to avoid this entirely. LLCs are one of the simplest tools for tax savings. Forming a single-member LLC costs about $100 in most states. Suddenly, your hobby becomes a real business with legitimate deductions. Home office, deductible. Mileage, deductible. Equipment, deductible. The average LLC owner saves over $10,000 annually by writing off expenses W-2 employees can't. It's no wonder 90% of millionaires use these pass-through entities. Here's a quick example. Say you make $80,000 at your job and $20,000 from a side business. Without an LLC, you pay income tax plus 15.3% self-employment tax on that $20,000. With an LLC, you deduct $5,000 in business expenses and only pay taxes on $15,000. That's $5,000 less taxable income and $765 saved in self-employment taxes. All legal. All above board. Health insurance is another area where business owners win. The average family plan costs $22,000 annually. As an employee, you pay this with after-tax dollars. Business owners deduct 100% of premiums before calculating taxable income. On a $100,000 income, this alone can save over $5,000 in taxes. The wealthy also use health reimbursement arrangements, HRAs, to make healthcare tax-free. Retirement contributions offer even bigger opportunities. W-2 employees max out at $22,500 in 401k contributions. Solo 401ks let you contribute up to $66,000 annually as both employer and employee. SEP IRAs allow $61,000 in tax-deductible contributions. That's $38,500 more you can shelter from taxes compared to traditional employees. The wealthy maximize these accounts to minimize taxable income. Real estate is another powerful tool. Rental property owners deduct mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, repairs, and depreciation. Depreciation alone can show a paper loss while cash flow remains positive. For example, a $200,000 property might generate $15,000 annually in rent while showing a $5,000 loss on paper due to depreciation. That's $20,000 in untaxed income. Timing income and deductions is another strategy. The wealthy push income into low tax years and deductions into high tax years. Bonuses get deferred. Business expenses get accelerated. Roth conversions happen during market downturns. Every dollar moves with tax consequences in mind. Let's compare. A W-2 employee earning $100,000 might pay $30,000 in taxes. A business owner with the same income, using deductions for health insurance, retirement contributions, and depreciation, could pay $15,000 or less. That's $15,000 saved, money that can be reinvested to build wealth. The key takeaway? The tax code isn't just a set of rules, it's a roadmap. The wealthy use it to unlock opportunities, and so can you. By understanding these strategies, you can keep more of what you earn and put it to work for your future. Multiple streams on a budget. Most people think you need thousands of dollars to start building income streams. That's why they never begin. The truth? You can launch multiple revenue streams with less than $100. The average successful side hustle starts with just $387, according to a Side Hustle Nation survey. Let me show you 7 real ways to start earning extra cash without breaking the bank. Freelancing costs nothing to start. Create free profiles on Fiverr, Upwork, or Freelancer, and offer skills you already have like writing, graphic design, or social media help. Charge $25 to $50 per project. If you need to sharpen your abilities, spend $50 on a Skillshare course. Your first goal? Complete 5 projects at $40 each to make $200. That covers your initial investment and leaves you with a profit. Print on demand requires $0 up front. Use free tools like Canva to design simple t-shirts or mugs, then upload them to platforms like Redbubble or Teespring. They handle production and shipping while you collect royalties. A basic dog lover design could sell 50 units at $3 profit each, earning you $150. With 5 designs, you could make $750 monthly without inventory risk. Affiliate marketing is free to begin. Sign up for programs like Amazon Associates or ShareASale and recommend products you already use. Write 5 product review posts on a free WordPress blog or LinkedIn. A single viral post about your favorite coffee maker could generate $500+ in commissions. Many top affiliates started with 0 investment and now earn 6 figures. Reselling flips free or cheap items for profit. Check Facebook Marketplace for free furniture, clean it up, and relist it with better photos. Garage sales often have $5 items worth $50 online. Start with $100, buy undervalued books or collectibles and flip them for $15 each. That turns $100 into $300. Reinvest and scale. Many resellers hit $1,000 a month within 90 days. Microtasking pays for small jobs. Sites like Amazon Mechanical Turk or Clickworker offer tasks like transcribing videos, categorizing products, or completing surveys. These pay $2 to $10 each. Spend 2 hours nightly and make $20 a day, or $600 a month. Use this income to fund better paying side hustles. It's not glamorous, but it's instant cash with no startup costs. Local services need minimal equipment. Offer pressure washing, $150 per house with a $90 electric washer. Pet sitting, $25 a day, requires just a leash and treats. Tutoring, $30 an hour, only needs your knowledge. Start with one service, reinvest your first $500 into better equipment, and expand. Many local service businesses grow to 6 figures annually from tiny beginnings. YouTube can launch with just your phone. Film simple how-to videos in your niche and monetize once you hit 1,000 subscribers. A channel about basic car maintenance could reach monetization in 3 months with weekly uploads. Once you're earning $100 a month from ads, reinvest in a $50 microphone. Top creators in small niches make $5,000 a month with minimal production costs. Here's an example. Sarah, a college student, started freelancing and reselling with just $80. She used $50 for an online course and $30 to buy undervalued books. Within 2 months, she was earning $400 per month. Her success came from starting small, reinvesting profits, and staying consistent. The key is starting small, but thinking big. Your first goal isn't to replace your income, it's to prove the model works. Aim for a $100 month from each stream. 3 streams at $100 each is $300 extra monthly. That covers groceries or a car payment. Next, target $500 per month per stream. Now you're at $1,500, serious money that changes your financial picture. Scaling comes through reinvestment. Take your first $500 and upgrade equipment. Better tools mean higher rates. That $30 tutoring becomes $50 an hour with certified materials. Pressure washing expands to commercial accounts with a $400 trailer setup. Each upgrade compounds your earning potential while keeping costs low. Time management makes this work. Dedicate 1 hour nightly to your top stream. Spend weekends growing secondary ones. The average person wastes 3+ hours daily on scrolling. That's 21+ hours weekly you could use to build income. Small, consistent actions create big results over months. Multiple streams protect you. If one dries up, others remain. Diversify across active income, freelancing, passive income, affiliate sales, and scalable models, local services. This mix creates stability as you grow. Tracking is crucial. Use a free Google Sheet to monitor each stream's income, time spent, and growth potential. After 3 months, double down on the top 2 performers. Cut the weakest one and replace it with a new experiment. This constant refinement leads to higher earning streams over time. Mindset makes the difference. Stop saying, "I can't afford to start." You can't afford not to. That daily coffee habit costs $150 a month, enough to launch multiple streams. The tools exist, now take action. Why you feel stuck. Ever feel like you're running in place financially? You're not imagining it. The system is designed to keep you stuck. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, despite following all the traditional advice. Let me show you why you feel trapped and how to break free. Banks make billions annually from low-yield savings accounts. They're incentivized to keep your money earning 0.5% while lending it out at much higher rates. Every dollar sitting in that account makes the bank richer, while inflation quietly erodes your purchasing power. Credit card companies profit even more, raking in $176 billion in interest last year. They design products to keep you carrying balances, all while promoting responsible credit card use. It's a system built to keep you dependent. The education system plays its part too. Student loans, which can't be discharged in bankruptcy, create lifelong debtors. The average graduate owes $37,000, paying thousands annually in interest. That's money that could be building wealth, but instead keeps you tethered to the system. Even housing costs reveal the trap. Decades ago, the median home was 2.5 times the median income. Today, it's 7 times higher. Wages haven't kept pace because they weren't meant to. Rent payments build someone else's equity while you struggle to get ahead. The job market completes the picture. Companies preach loyalty, but eliminate pensions and keep wages stagnant. Raises barely cover inflation, and only a tiny fraction of workers ever make it to the top. The rest plateau, watching executives reap the rewards of their labor. It's a system designed to keep you working harder, not smarter. I remember the moment it hit me. I was doing everything right, saving, budgeting, working long hours, but I still felt stuck. I blamed myself, thinking I just wasn't trying hard enough. That's exactly what the system wants. If you think it's your fault, you won't question the game. But the math doesn't lie. Saving 20% of $50,000 a year might sound like a solid plan, but after 30 years, inflation cuts your $1 million nest egg to less than half its value. The slow and steady path leads to a broke retirement. Financial institutions profit from this fear. They sell safe investments that barely beat inflation because scared money is predictable money. Meanwhile, the wealthy take calculated risks with better returns. Your 401k grows at 7%, while their private equity earns 12%. The gap widens every year, and the system ensures you stay on the losing side. Even the education system prepares workers, not owners. You learn to balance checkbooks, but not build businesses. Studies show most wealth comes from investments, not salaries. Yet schools teach job skills instead of wealth skills. It's not an oversight, it's intentional. Tax policies widen the gap further. W-2 employees are taxed first and spend what's left, while business owners spend first and get taxed on the remainder. Over decades, this difference compounds into massive wealth gaps. The media reinforces the trap, glorifying lottery winners and overnight successes to make wealth seem random. In reality, most millionaires take years of consistent action to build their wealth. But Get Rich Slow doesn't sell ads, so you never hear those stories. Even financial advice is compromised. Banks push IRAs, media promotes stock picks, and gurus sell courses. Everyone profits from keeping you chasing solutions instead of understanding the system. The real game isn't taught because it doesn't benefit those in power. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop playing their game. The system rewards owners, not workers. It favors assets over income and creating value over following rules. When you understand this, you stop feeling stuck and start seeing opportunities everywhere. The wealthy don't have special skills, they just know the real rules. They use strategic debt, focus on multiple income streams, and optimize taxes. These aren't secrets, they're just not taught to workers. Once you see the system for what it is, you can start rewriting the rules for yourself. Your 7-day wealth jumpstart. You've learned the truth about wealth building. Now, let's put it into action this week. Not next month, starting today. Research shows people who take action within 24 hours are 5x more likely to succeed. Yet 92% of people never implement what they learn. This 7-day plan ensures you're in the 8% who actually get results. Day 1. Open a separate bank account. This takes 10 minutes online. Use Chime or Capital One if your main bank makes it difficult. This account becomes your wealth building hub, separating spending money from wealth money. Transfer $25 to start if you can. The amount doesn't matter, the habit does. Day 2. Track every dollar. Download Mint or use a simple spreadsheet. For 1 week, record every coffee, subscription, and impulse buy. Most people discover at least $100 a month in wasted spending they can redirect to wealth building. Awareness changes everything. Day 3. Launch your first income stream. Pick one from our list: freelancing, affiliate marketing, print on demand. Spend 1 hour setting it up, create a Fiverr profile, upload a design to Canva, or sign up for an affiliate program. Action creates momentum. Done is better than perfect. Day 4. Learn one wealth skill. Spend 30 minutes watching YouTube tutorials on your chosen income stream. Whether it's writing product descriptions, basic graphic design, or affiliate marketing strategies, small knowledge gains compound over time. The wealthy prioritize financial education. Day 5. Make your first $10. Complete a small freelance gig, sell a t-shirt design, or get your first affiliate click. The amount doesn't matter. Proving you can do it does. This shifts you from theorist to earner, a transition most people never make. Day 6, reinvest your first $10. Buy a better profile picture, upgrade a design tool, or purchase a domain name. This trains your brain to think like an investor. The wealthy reinvest early earnings to compound growth. You're building that habit now. Day 7, plan your next 90 days. How will you scale from $10 to $100 per month? Maybe 5 freelance gigs instead of 1, 10 t-shirt designs instead of 2. Write down 3 specific actions you'll take weekly. People with written plans are 3x more likely to succeed. The secret? Starting small, but starting now. Your $10 today becomes $100 next month and $1,000 in 6 months. The wealthy didn't build fortunes overnight. They started exactly where you are. The difference is, they took action while others made excuses. Most people think they need $10,000 to start investing or months to launch a business. That's why they never begin. Your first $10 matters more than your future $10,000 because it breaks the inertia of inaction. Don't let another day slip by. Act now. Procrastination is the enemy. The system profits when you delay. Banks thrive when you don't invest. Employers benefit when you don't build alternatives. Taking immediate action is the ultimate rebellion against financial stagnation. You're not waiting for permission anymore. Each day's task takes less than an hour. The average person spends 3+ hours daily on social media and TV. Redirect just one of those hours this week to wealth building. That's all it takes to change your financial trajectory. No heroic efforts required. Small wins create confidence. Confidence leads to bigger actions. Before you know it, you're making serious money on the side, but it all starts with that first $10, that first completed gig, that first sale. Momentum builds faster than you think. Track your progress. Use a notebook or spreadsheet to record each small victory. First profile created, first design uploaded, first dollar earned. Visible progress fuels motivation. Most people quit because they don't see immediate results. Your tracking proves growth is happening. Accountability increases success. Tell one person about your 7-day challenge. Text them your progress each day. Even better, find someone to do it with you. Having an accountability partner doubles your chances of following through. Don't keep this journey to yourself. Expect resistance. Your brain will invent excuses. I'm too tired tonight, or I'll do it tomorrow. Recognize these as the system's programming trying to keep you stuck. Push through anyway. Action creates energy. The first step is always the hardest. It gets easier from there. Celebrate small wins. Finished your freelancing profile? That's a win. Made your first design? Another win. Our brains respond to rewards. Give yourself credit for each step completed. Most people dismiss small progress. You're training yourself to value it. The alternative? Another year of financial stagnation. Another 12 months wondering why nothing changes. The definition of insanity
Protecting
is
your
doing
money.
the same thing,
Building
but
wealth
expecting
means
different
nothing
results.
if you can't
This
protect
week
it.
breaks that
Let's
cycle.
talk about the financial
You're finally
safety
taking
nets
different
nobody
actions.
teaches you.
Right now, 60% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency. That's a sobering statistic when you consider how many silent wealth killers are waiting to wipe out your hard-earned money. The first layer of protection is your emergency fund. But instead of letting inflation eat away at $10,000 sitting in a low-yield savings account, ladder your cash. Keep $1,000 in actual cash at home for immediate emergencies. Another $4,000 should go into a high-yield savings account, earning at least 4%. The rest, short-term treasury bills or money market funds earning 5+% while staying liquid. This strategy ensures your money is accessible and working for you. Once you've secured your cash safety, the next step is safeguarding your assets legally and financially. Insurance is critical here, yet most people are dangerously underinsured. Health insurance deductibles are climbing, and the average car accident settlement often exceeds auto insurance limits. Umbrella insurance, for example, provides $1 million in extra liability coverage for about $20 a month. Disability insurance protects your earning potential, your most valuable asset. These policies are affordable and can save you from financial ruin. Legal protection is another essential layer. A simple LLC separates your personal assets from your business for about $100 in most states. For real estate investors, land trusts add privacy and protection. These tools aren't just for the wealthy. They're for anyone who understands that lawsuits often target visible assets. Imagine a small business owner who didn't set up an LLC and lost their home in a lawsuit. Now compare that to someone who did and walked away with their personal assets untouched. The difference is life-changing. Speaking of lawsuits, don't assume you're immune. Car accidents, tenant disputes, even a careless social media post can lead to legal trouble. Proper asset protection can save 20 to 30% in potential legal losses. That's the difference between losing everything and walking away unscathed. Taxes are another silent wealth killer. The average American pays 30% of their income in taxes, but the wealthy use legal strategies to cut that in half. Solo 401ks let you shelter up to $66,000 annually. Health savings accounts, HSAs, offer triple tax advantages. Rental property deductions can show paper losses while generating actual cash flow. These aren't loopholes. They're tools built into the tax code that most people overlook. Inflation is stealing from you right now. At 3% inflation, $100,000 in your retirement account will only have the buying power of $40,000 in 30 years. The solution? Invest in assets that outpace inflation. Real estate historically beats inflation by 2 to 3%. Dividend growth stocks increase payouts over time. Even Series 1 bonds adjust for inflation automatically. Identity theft ruins thousands of people financially every year. Freeze your credit with all 3 bureaus. It takes 10 minutes online. Use a password manager instead of recycling weak passwords. Set up 2-factor authentication everywhere. These simple steps prevent 99% of identity theft attempts. Your biggest risk? Your own behavior. Emotional investing, impulse spending, and lifestyle inflation destroy more wealth than any external threat. Automate your finances to protect yourself from yourself. Set up automatic transfers to investment accounts. Use cash for discretionary spending instead of cards. Remove saved payment methods from shopping sites. For business owners, keeping personal and business funds separate is non-negotiable. Always use separate accounts. Get an EIN instead of your SSN, and document all business decisions properly. These steps prevent creditors from going after your personal assets. Finally, estate planning isn't just for the rich. Without a will, your state decides who gets your assets. Simple will cost about $300 online. Add a living will for medical decisions and power of attorney for financial matters if you're incapacitated. These documents prevent family fights and court battles. Digital assets need protection too. Use a password manager your executor can access. Document all your accounts and subscriptions. Consider a digital will, specifying what happens to your online presence. Most people have thousands of dollars in digital assets. Don't let them disappear. The millionaire mindset shift. The difference between being broke and building wealth isn't about your bank account. It's about your brain. Most people focus on the wrong things. They think if they just made more money, everything would change. But here's the truth. 80% of lottery winners go broke within 5 years. Why? Because they never changed how they think about money. The wealthy operate with completely different mental models, and today, I'm going to show you exactly what they are. First, mental model. Time is your most valuable asset. The average person trades time for money once, at their job. The wealthy create systems that generate income while they sleep. They understand that an hour spent building an asset is worth 100 hours of labor. This is why wealthy people spend significantly more time on financial education than the average person. They're not born smarter. They simply prioritize learning how money works, treating it like planting seeds that grow into a forest over time. Second mental model. Problems equal profit opportunities. Most people see obstacles. The wealthy see potential. A neighbor struggling to find good childcare? That's a business idea. A local store with bad customer service? That's a chance to compete. While others complain, millionaires ask, how can I solve this and create value? It's like turning lemons into lemonade, except the lemonade becomes a thriving business. Third mental model. Failure is tuition. The average person avoids risk, but the wealthy see failure as a necessary step. Most millionaires have 3 to 4 failed businesses before finding success. They treat these failures like paying for a tough but valuable course. It's like tasting bitter medicine. It's unpleasant, but it makes you stronger. This is why 27% of millionaires have been bankrupt at least once. They know failure isn't the end, it's feedback for the next attempt. Fourth mental model: money is a tool, not a goal. Broke people chase paychecks, while the wealthy focus on creating value. They understand that money follows problem solving. Instead of asking, how can I get rich? They ask, what can I build that people will pay for? It's like building a bridge. Each solution connects you to greater opportunities, while chasing money alone leaves you stranded. Fifth mental model: assets feed you, liabilities eat you. Many people think a nice car or big house equals wealth, but the wealthy know these are often traps. They focus on acquiring assets that generate cash flow: rental properties, businesses, intellectual property. The average person's net worth is tied up in things that cost money every month, while millionaires build portfolios that pay them back. It's the difference between planting a tree that bears fruit and buying a tree that needs constant watering. Here's how this mindset plays out. The average person gets a $5,000 bonus and buys a TV. The wealthy person uses that same $5,000 to start a side business. 5 years later, one has an outdated TV worth $100, while the other has a business generating $2,000 a month. Same starting point, completely different outcomes, because of mindset. Most people are stuck in scarcity thinking, believing there's never enough. The wealthy operate from abundance, knowing money flows to value creators. This is why wealthy people give more to charity, not because they're nicer, but because they understand the more you give, the more flows back. It's like priming a pump. The more you pour in, the more comes out. The time investment difference is staggering. The average person spends 4 hours a week on entertainment. The average millionaire spends that same time on financial education. Over 10 years, that's 2,000 hours of learning versus 2,000 hours of Netflix. Which do you think leads to better results? It's not about intelligence, it's about intentionality. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your current mindset got you your current results. If you want different results, you need different thinking. The good news? Mindsets can be changed. Start small. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, ask, how could I afford that? Instead of fearing failure, ask, what's the worst that could happen? Tiny shifts compound over time. The wealthy don't have special genes, they have different mental software. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. They view money as a tool for creating value, not an end goal. They understand failure is part of the process. Most importantly, they know wealth starts in your mind before it shows up in your bank account. So what mindset shift will you start with today? Case study: from $0 to $1 million in 5 years. Let me show you exactly how Sarah went from $0 to $1 million in 5 years using the principles we've discussed. Sarah was a 28-year-old teacher making $45,000 a year when she began her journey. Here's how she did it. In the first 3 months, Sarah started freelance writing on Upwork during summer break, charging $25 per article and completing 3 to 4 pieces per week. By month 3, she raised her rates to $50 per article and landed 2 steady clients, earning $2,100 total. She reinvested $500 into a course on SEO writing, setting the stage for growth. By month 6, Sarah had secured a $1,000 month retainer with a marketing agency using her new SEO skills. She also launched a print-on-demand store with teacher-themed designs, which brought in $300 in its first month. Her combined side hustle income reached $1,300 per month. The turning point came in months 7 to 12. One of Sarah's education articles went viral, generating $3,200 in affiliate revenue in December alone. Her best-selling Teachers Work Harder Than Presidents t-shirt added $500 a month. By June, she was earning $4,000 a month in side income and decided to leave teaching. In year 2, Sarah focused on building systems. She hired 2 freelance writers at $20 an hour to handle client work, freeing her to focus on higher-value tasks. She launched a teacher blog that grew to 10,000 monthly visitors, earning $8,000 per month through affiliate sales, ads, and merchandise. Profits from her blog allowed her to purchase her first rental property with an FHA loan. Year 3 was all about diversification. Sarah's blog grew to 50,000 monthly visitors, and she added online courses for teachers priced at $97 each. Her first rental property generated $300 per month in cash flow, and she started a YouTube channel about teacher side hustles. By the end of the year, her total monthly income reached $12,000, and she purchased a second rental property. In year 4, Sarah leveraged her growing assets. Her YouTube channel monetized at 10,000 subscribers, bringing in $2,000 per month. Online course sales hit $5,000 a month, and her blog's affiliate income doubled. She refinanced her 2 rental properties, pulling out $40,000 in equity to fund additional investments. Her monthly income climbed to $18,000. By year 5, Sarah's net worth crossed $1 million. Her wealth was built through a combination of digital products, rental properties, and content businesses. Here's the breakdown. $300,000 in equity from 4 rental properties, $200,000 in blog YouTube business value, $400,000 in cash and investments, $100,000 in other assets. But Sarah's journey wasn't without challenges. In month 4, she almost quit when she earned just $800. Most people give up here, but she stayed focused on the long-term goal. After her first $10,000 month, she nearly spent all her profits on a new car but chose to reinvest in content creation and a virtual assistant instead, accelerating her growth by a year. In year 2, she burned out trying to do everything herself. Hiring help felt risky, but it allowed her to scale her business. The key lesson? Sarah didn't rely on one big win. She built wealth through consistent small actions that compounded over time. Her first $100 month led to $1,000 months, which grew into $10,000 months. Most people overlook the power of small beginnings. Sarah's strategy followed the principles we've covered. 1. Started with income multiplication, freelancing, rather than just saving. 2. Used strategic debt, mortgages to acquire appreciating assets. 3. Built multiple streams, blog, YouTube, rentals, courses. 4. Reinvested profits instead of spending them. 5. Developed systems that worked without her constant input. The numbers prove this works. According to Smart Asset, it takes $7,000 a month in after-tax income to build $1 million in 5 years through saving and investing. Sarah achieved it with $18,000 a month by combining active and passive streams. The great wealth transfer opportunity. Right now, there's a $68 trillion wealth transfer happening that could change your financial future forever. Baby boomers are passing down the largest intergenerational wealth transfer in history, and most millennials aren't even aware it's happening. By 2030, $1 trillion will change hands every single year. The question is, will you be ready to seize this opportunity, or will it pass you by? This isn't just about inheriting money. Think of it like a tide washing in a sea of opportunity, reshaping the financial landscape as it flows. New industries emerge, old businesses change hands, and real estate portfolios shift. Yet 70% of millennials are unprepared to take advantage of these changes. That's where your opportunity lies. Let me show you 3 ways to position yourself for this wealth transfer. First, get into the business of serving aging boomers. Their needs are creating entire new industries. Senior move managers charge $3,000 to $5,000 to help downsize homes. Elder law attorneys are thriving. Even simple services like tech tutoring for seniors can generate $100 an hour. These businesses will only grow as more boomers retire. Second, prepare to acquire assets at discount prices. Many heirs want cash fast when they inherit property or businesses, creating bargain opportunities. Start building relationships now with estate attorneys and financial planners. Get pre-approved for business loans or mortgages so you can act quickly when deals appear. The wealthy have been doing this for generations. Now it's your turn. Third, position yourself in industries that will benefit from this transfer. Financial advising for millennials is set to boom as inheritances roll in. Estate sale companies will see record business. Tax specialists who understand trust funds will be in high demand. Even professional organizing services will grow as massive amounts of belongings are passed down. The numbers are staggering. Cerulli Associates estimates $84 trillion will transfer by 2042, with $72 trillion going to heirs. But here's the catch. Most inheritors blow through the money in less than 3 years. Why? Because they never learned how to manage wealth. This creates a second opportunity, helping people preserve what they inherit. Financial education services will be worth their weight in gold. Real estate will see the biggest shifts. Boomers own 32% of all homes. As they downsize or pass away, millions of properties will hit the market. Some will be bargains as heirs rush to sell. Others will need renovations, another opportunity. Smart investors are already building cash reserves to pounce on these deals. Are you? Small businesses will change hands at record rates. Over 40% of small business owners are boomers, and many have no succession plan. This creates incredible opportunities to buy established businesses at reasonable prices. Seller financing is common in these situations, meaning you might not even need perfect credit to take over a cash-flowing business. The wealth transfer will create new millionaires overnight, but not just through inheritance. When someone inherits $500,000, they might start a business, invest in real estate, or hire financial help. Each of these actions creates opportunities for those ready to provide services. Here's what you need to do right now to prepare. First, educate yourself on basic estate planning. You don't need to be an expert, but understanding trusts, step-up basis, and capital gains will help you spot opportunities. Second, build your cash reserves. Even $10,000 set aside gives you options when deals appear. Third, develop valuable skills that will be in demand, anything from home inspections to business valuations. The tax implications alone will create opportunities. Many heirs will need help navigating capital gains, property taxes, and inheritance laws. If you understand these areas, you can position yourself as a valuable resource. Even basic knowledge puts you ahead of most people. Digital assets add another layer. Most boomers haven't planned for their online accounts, cryptocurrencies, or digital businesses. Services that help manage or transfer these assets will be crucial. This is a wide open field with almost no competition yet. The time to prepare is now. By 2030, the transfer will be in full swing. Those who position themselves early will reap the benefits. Start small if you need to. Take a course on estate sales. Save $100 a week toward your investment fund. Build skills that will be valuable in the coming decade. This isn't just about money, it's about creating a life of opportunity and freedom. Your personal wealth roadmap. Generic financial advice fails because your situation is unique. What works for a 25-year-old single entrepreneur won't work for a 45-year-old parent with a mortgage. That's why we're building your personal wealth roadmap. Today, a step-by-step plan tailored exactly to where you are right now. Research shows people with written plans are 3 times more likely to achieve financial success. Let's create yours. Step 1. Assess your starting point. Grab a notebook and answer these questions. How much do you have in savings right now? What's your current monthly take-home pay? List all your debts with their interest rates. What assets do you own that could generate income? Be brutally honest. Most people overestimate their savings and underestimate their spending. This clarity is your foundation. Step 2. Identify your financial personality. Are you a natural saver who needs to focus on earning? A big earner who struggles with managing money? Or maybe you're stuck in analysis paralysis, endlessly researching but never acting. There's no judgment, just awareness. Your roadmap must align with your personality. For example, forced frugality won't work for spenders, and complex investing can overwhelm beginners. Step 3. Set your first milestone. If you're starting from zero, aim for $1,000 in emergency cash. If you already have savings, target replacing 10% of your income with side hustles. For those with established businesses, focus on systemizing operations. Choose a milestone that feels challenging but achievable within 3 to 6 months. Small wins build confidence for bigger goals. Step 4. Choose your wealth-building vehicle. Your choice depends on your current resources and risk tolerance. If you have little capital but time, focus on service-based side hustles. With some savings, consider local real estate investing. If you have marketable skills, digital products offer scalability. There's no best option, only what fits your situation. Step 5. Build your income multiplication plan. List 3 ways you could realistically earn an extra $500 a month within 90 days. For example, freelancing, tutoring, or flipping items. Then, identify 2 longer-term streams to develop over the next year, like rental income or an online course. Multiple streams protect you and create compounding growth. Step 6. Create your debt strategy. Not all debt is equal. List your debts by interest rate. Prioritize paying off anything over 7%. Lower interest debts might be strategically kept while you invest elsewhere. For high-interest credit cards, the avalanche method, paying the highest rates first, saves the most money. Step 7. Implement basic tax optimization. If you're employed, max out your 401k match. Open a Roth IRA if eligible. Freelancers should set up a separate business account and track every deductible expense. These small steps can save thousands annually with minimal effort. Start now. Don't wait until tax season. Step 8. Schedule weekly money dates. Set aside 30 minutes each week to review your finances, track progress, and adjust your plan. Treat it like a critical business meeting, because it is. This habit separates those who achieve financial goals from those who just dream about them. Step 9. Build your learning curriculum. Identify 3 skills that would most boost your earning potential. For example, copywriting, basic accounting, or sales. Dedicate 30 minutes daily to developing these skills. The wealthy invest in education. It's how they spot opportunities others miss. Step 10. Create your protection plan. If you have dependents, term life insurance is essential. Renters should have liability coverage. Everyone needs a basic will, which you can create online for under $100. These steps prevent financial disasters that could wipe out years of progress. Step 11. Automate your investments. Calculate your target monthly investment amount. Start with whatever you can consistently set aside, even $50 a month matters. Automate this transfer to happen right after payday. Out of sight, out of mind. This builds wealth without relying on willpower. Step 12. Plan for lifestyle inflation. As your income grows, decide in advance what percentage you'll allocate to lifestyle upgrades versus reinvestment. A 50-50 split is reasonable. Half for enjoyment, half for building more wealth. Without this plan, lifestyle creep can eat all your progress. Step 13. Build your network. Connect with 3 people this month who are where you want to be financially. Most wealthy people gladly share advice if asked respectfully. These relationships provide mentorship, opportunities, and crucial mindset shifts. Step 14. Set your review schedule. Mark your calendar for a full financial review every 90 days. Assess what's working, what's not, and adjust accordingly. Your roadmap isn't set in stone, it evolves as you grow. Regular reviews keep you on track. Step 15. Define your why. Write down your core reason for building wealth. Is it family security? Career freedom? Early retirement? When challenges come, this purpose will keep you going. Tape it somewhere you'll see it daily. Now, break everything into 90-day sprints. What exactly will you accomplish this quarter? Maybe it's launching your first income stream, paying off a credit card, or saving your first $5,000. Concrete short-term goals create momentum for long-term success. The old money rules don't work anymore. Saving pennies, relying on 401ks, fearing debt, that playbook is outdated. Now you have the strategies to build real wealth. The average millionaire takes 12 years to hit their first million. Not overnight, not by luck, but through consistent action on the right principles. Your clock starts today. What's your first move? Drop your strategy in the comments. Freelancing, real estate, side hustles. Writing it down makes it real. Let's see those commitments.